Yo, happy Sunday, what's happening, everybody? Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day, but welcome back to Kovax Corner. I appreciate you taking the time to come through, chill with your homie. We out here because you guys voted unanimously for human, so we gotta start learning how to play human for 1v1s for the next couple months, because we did undead for a couple months, well, like month and a half. We're going to move on to human, and then I'm going to end up putting a poll back up, and then it's going to be between orc and night elf. And pretty much after we run through all the races, we're going to start over again and just try to get better with it. But anyway, welcome to Kovax Corner. I appreciate you taking time. Chill with your homie. Feel free, hit me up on any one of my other social media platforms down in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord. I stream over there, usually some YouTube videos. We were looking at the YCS earlier today. I had it up for like a couple hours because I was watching it, sitting back, enjoying, checking it out. Also, if you want to become members, feel free, man. We got tier lists and everything. Extras, all that goodness. Know what I mean? You get access to videos a day in advance. Like, I just finished dropping 2 videos. They're scheduled. I gotta do a couple more tomorrow. They're gonna get scheduled, and pretty much that's how I'm gonna try and do it, and try and be 2 weeks in advance. Not only that, but we also got pop-up Pokemon packs that we're gonna be popping up with throughout the week, just because I was able to get them. Went to the Upper Hand today, said what up to the homie Christian who owns the place, and yeah, man, you know, I ended up getting a booster box, so it's going to be popping off. We still got one more 2022 tin pack to open and see what we get. I pulled the Ash Blossom. Super hyped about that. That was crazy. Keeping that. Need that. Hand trap. Boom. Out my way, right? But anyway, we are going to actually take a look at 2 things, right? So 4 years ago, Human 3 Reforged, human build orders, fast rifleman, rifle caster, human versus undead gameplay. So rifles casters was prevalent back in ROC days. Yo, see nice, what's happening? Hey, yo, that YCS duel was cool. That's the way to play non-toxic nice. Man, the duel was nice. Yeah, man, the duels was nice. Facts. Big facts. Like, put it this way, pretty much I can put it up and have it run over on the Discord for like a hot minute. It'll end up like it shuts down for like 10 minutes and then comes back up, and it does that 2 times in a row before it just cuts it, like almost like Netflix. Are you still watching? It's almost like Netflix and chill, but you on Discord. But anyway, we're going to take a look from Toy House over here. We're going to take a look 4 years ago what the build order was. And then I could even go all the way back to ROC days, because that was the build order, right? Because it was 2 to 3 footies into rifles into casters. And like casters were OPAF, and then you could go into griffs if you wanted to, or you're going to go flying machines like helicopters, right? Unless you're dealing with another situation where you have to go knights. And then we got Grubby here, which is a year ago, right? Human Guide from Theory to Practice Warcraft 3 Grubby. We're going to check that out. And then we're going to watch Best Human Player in the World takes on Happy, which is the best undead player in the world, right? And that was 14 hours ago. So we're going to compare. And then we're going to hop on Warcraft 3. We're going to play a 4v4, maybe 2. Depending on how much time's left, because I do have to go to work tomorrow. I wake up early. But then we're going to play, and we're going to see whether or not we could actually stick to a build guide. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right into it. We're going to hop over here. Shout out to Toy House. Yo, bro, I'm a human player and orc player. Human is a great race. Nice. Like, I'm OG orc player. 100% OG orc player. I used to play Night Elf too. Like, I'd say ask my brother, he'd be able to tell you all the, all the icons that I was able to get, right? Like, I had the highest orc icon that you were able to get. I had, what was it? The 750 random one. I had the 750 Night Elf one. I had, what was it, like, I think it was like either 2500 or something like that. Nah, it's like 1500 Orc one or something like that. I had Beyond Torrent. I had Thrall. My Undead, I think I had the 250 icon. And then Humans, I had like the 500 icon or something like that. And I used to play a lot of 1v1s back in ROC days, right? Like I had a bunch of the icons. I started playing random at the end there because I was like clan hopping, helping people produce clans, structure the clans. I was certified shaman in a bunch of different clans throughout tournaments that we were doing throughout the clans back in the day on ROC. I used to like join all the servers, help people get started. If you are from back in the day, and if you ever played ROC like way back in the day, we're talking about like 2010, 11, like 2007 even. You know, there was a clan called Clan T Pow, and me and a couple of the homies made that clan. And that clan was one of the best clans ever. We had Turkey Beast, we had Raider, we had like a bunch of people. We had a shit ton of people that were sick. And it was one of the dopest clans ever. Ever. You know what I mean? We were cool with everybody across the server. And we would host tournaments all the time. Sure, they were like made up cups because we were all just kids fucking around with each other. But we practiced, we did 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. There was no 4v4s, but we did FFAs. FFAs was crazy too in itself, where we would have like 15 people watching a FFA going off, and people would be reporting on it. This is back when like YouTube wasn't so prevalent. It was just coming into its prime. People weren't really making money from YouTube, but people were streaming it. It was more X-Fire and stuff like that, the X-Fire days, you know what I mean? Are you going to be using rifleman or footman as human? Probably rifles. I mainly use rifle with mortar, concept supplies, and 4v4. Well, like, my whole build strategy is Archmage, like footies, Archmage into rifle, into casters, and then from casters, depending on what my opponent is doing, I'm either going to go air or I'm going to go ground and pound. Or I could go strictly magic. And it all depends on the whole situation when you're at that halfway point in the game, right? But a good majority of the time, it is going to be riflemen, a couple knights, and mortar team. I don't like the mass tanks. If they're going air, I would go choppers just because they destroy air units like nothing. Especially with how quick they come from the workshop, how fast you're able to pump them out at an efficient cost as well. Oh, yo, my bad. Hold on one sec. Shit. I forgot to put the chat up. My bad. I mainly use Rifleman Morts. You could also go melee class, yeah. Do I have to get a Discord app? If you want to. There's no pressure, man. You know how we go over here on this channel. Like, you guys have your own lives. You do your own thing. I don't force anybody. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't hurt your feelings. If you want to come through to the streams, that's dope. If you want to watch them later, that's dope. But even if you didn't want to watch them, that's dope. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. If you want to, feel free, see nice, go ahead. You know, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But I do end up streaming over there, especially if I'm like short on time to come through and hop on YouTube. If I'm short on time, I'll hop over there because I'll just throw YouTube on because I'm usually watching something on YouTube, right? And that's everybody. It's essentially a watch party that I'm able to do over there, which is pretty cool. But without further delay, we're actually going to get into this. We're going to take a look at the 100% win rate with Warcraft III Reforged, Human Build Order, Fast Rifleman, Rifle Caster, Human vs. Undead gameplay, even though depends on the map, what's going on. This is 4 years ago, 44k views. Toy House, feel free to go check him out. Shout outs to him. It's been 4 years, so I'm pretty sure that we can watch this. He made all the revenue he needs to, okay? So let's get into it. Let's take a look.
The race is extremely versatile in Warcraft.
Hold on.
The human race is extremely versatile in Warcraft 3. You've got lots of builds to choose from to always keep your opponent guessing. So today we're going to look at a very special build that's used by pro players.
Alright, so just hold on a second. Hold on one second. I'm going to minimize it because I got my camera right here, just because it'll block where the sun and moon is, and it won't really block too much of the gameplay. So with Warcraft III Reforged, I hate this. I hate this art style. I hate this. That's why I'm like referred to the old school one instead of using the new graphics. I don't like the new graphics. New graphics to me is 100% garbage, and that's just me. So hold on one sec. And I had to switch it up, switch the races up, right? We're gonna go to options real quick. Sound. Save. We're just gonna cut the sound off real quick. Yeah, it's this one. Alrighty. Yeah, I hate these graphics. These graphics were hella confusing when I first came into the game. I seen that. I played a night elf real quick just to see. And no. It's like really bulky. You don't know where everything is able to fit compared to the old school style. I love the old school style, but that's just me and some other people who've been playing the game for a long time. But you can't fault the people who like the art design, and that's completely fine. Alright, so let's get into this. This is a 4-year-old video of a human strategy. I think this is around the time when Reforged came out.
The human race is extremely versatile in Warcraft 3. They've got lots of builds to choose from to always keep your opponent guessing.
So right away, I could tell you right now, this guy already fucked up. He already fucked up. Like heavy, you know. You throw all 5 on the gold mine, you take one, you end up making an altar as you build one, getting it to go. As soon as he's halfway, you could grab one, build a farm, and you could pump another one. And by the time you pump that one, grab one from there, from the mine, so that it will be back to 3, and have them cutting wood. Because then you have your altar popping, you have your farm popping, then right after that, you're going to get a barracks. So it's like, I understand for beginners how he's doing it like this, but if it was like competitive 1v1s, he already fucked up. You're falling way behind.
Today we're going to look at a very special build that's used by pro players. Fast Rifleman into Rifle Caster. In today's match, we're going to watch Human versus Undead. Now this matchup is considered rather controversial because many people argue it's actually in favor of the Undead. So if you're human and you're having trouble against Undead, this build might just give you the edge you need to stomp some Undead.
So I don't know too much about that. You know, like usually human has an upper hand over Undead because they're able to build fast, right? It costs resources, but they're able to actually build fast. You could throw 2-3 peons or workmen, whatever, over onto one building and have that building resurrected quick time, where Undead you have to wait, right? So I don't know about that.
Let's get into it. So right when the game starts, you're going to want to train peasants to 9 food. That means make 3 peasants. Then go ahead and rally your town hall to the gold mine. What you're aiming for is 8 peasants on lumber, 5 peasants on gold. After your peasants have...
And even then, like 8 peasants on lumber, 5 on gold. You could do 6 on lumber because after you end up getting the lumber upgrades, right? But if you wanted to go 8, you can go 8, take 2 for militia. If you end up wanting to, like, over here on his map, you'd be able to go and get a quick gold mine, like an expansion quick time if you wanted to. I would leave it at 6 because then you could just pull off after.
Have been harvesting.
You got a reverse foil. What is that? Polyto. Oh, that's sick. Lordy. Song leader, Hydro Splash. A-star origin card. Nice. That's dope. Yeah, yo, my homie Christian over at the Upper Hand today, I ended up going over there, so I got show you Mammy Jams real quick. Something to look forward to. We got these are back here with the Pokemon stuff. Yeah. So peep the Steves. We got some Taskmasters, booster box, first edition. So we're going to be able to pull some more cards, which is pretty dope. And then we got, what is that? Hold on. It's upside down. Temporal Forces of Pokemon. We got 4 packs of the Temporal Forces of Pokemon. We'll test our luck. Homie Rhett did the good luck thing with them. He has like PSA 10 Charizard first edition, Shadowless and all that. Rubbed it on that shit. Hopefully we pull something dope. Realistically with the Pokemon cards, I just want to look for proper centering and stuff for grading. Because the only time Pokemon cards are worth anything is if they're graded. Right? Other than that, they're like $1 or $2. I had a Charizard that I sold. The only reason why I sold it is because the centering was off, but I still got like $25 for it. It was like a $30 card, but I'll take the $5 hit. It's cool. Out of a candy machine, LOL 50 cents. Dope. Yeah, you were saying that you do that. You get the candy machine 50-cent cards. That's pretty sick, man. Yo, Cole, what's happening? We're just going over a 4-year-old Warcraft 3 strategy. Fast Rifleman, Riflecaster, Human vs. Undead. We're about to get back into it. I'm doing alright. I hope that you're doing alright as well, my friend. Hopefully everyone's doing alright. Happy Sunday, everybody. Tomorrow's Monday, the beginning of the week. But it's all good. It's all good. Let's get it.
For a little bit. Go ahead and make an altar, a farm, a blacksmith, and a barracks, all at 9 food. So do that all at the same time with different peasants. Those should all get building, and then the next peasant that's queued up on your town hall, make him immediately build a farm at 10.
So, he was stacking so that he could do all this at once. You still fall behind in a 1v1 doing it like that. You fall so far behind. I guess he doesn't really care because he's going up against Undead. And Undead, you guys have seen how I played Undead. You guys see how 1v1s with Undead usually is, right? So it's like he could kind of relax as a human. Unless like he was right beside where his camp is. But we don't know because he has Fog of War on.
So the build so far is 9 altar, 9 farm, 9 blacksmith,
nice.
9 barracks,
Very nice.
10
GG's
farm.
facts.
Now,
glad to
you're
hear
going to
that
have a
you're
little
good.
bit of wait time. You're just making more peasants, sending them to go harvest lumber. And then while that's going on, get ready because at 13 food, you're going to want to make a paladin as soon as the altar finishes.
Fuck a paladin. Archmage.
Paladin starts getting made. You're going to continue building peasants and harvesting lumber, trying to get that 8 peasant on lumber, 5 peasant on gold. And then as soon as the barracks and the blacksmith finish, you're going to want to make a rifleman, probably at around 18 food. Then, at 21 food, you're going to want to make a farm. Because riflemen cost 3 food, you're going to need to constantly make farms. Once that farm is thrown down, you're going to...
So when you go to make farms, and if you just want to have it set up so that you're just making farms, so you push B, and then hold shift and push F for farm. You could place a farm, and then it'll still be the outlay of the farm, and you could lay one right beside it, and then another one, you know, and that peon will actually automatically start building those.
You're going to want to make a scout tower. This scout tower you're going to later turn into an arcane tower, and that's going to be primarily for defensive reasons.
He's not
now
doing
as you make your first rifleman,
he's like, where's his hero? How come he hasn't started his hero?
and queue up your second one, you're going to want to make a farm, and that'll typically be
He just started his hero.
Then, as you move out to attack, you're going to want to bring out some militia with you, just in case you want to tackle some creeps and you don't want to take too much damage.
That's that +2 militia that he's talking about. Maybe even +3 depending on how he wants to play, because all you really need is 5 on lumber, because Human has that upgrade for lumber where they go from 10 to 15 to 20.
That should be going on around 30 food.
Or like with Undead, you can use 3 they use 3 goals because they catch 20 lumber a piece, but 4 is actually pretty optimal just because you have that extra on top of the 2 to 3 that you're going to bring with you when you start creeping. And as soon as they end up taking damage, you can just send them back and then grab one from the lumber pile. You will constantly have 3 over there unless you're sending 2 over and like 2 back, and then you grab the 2 from the lumber and bring them to you because they have the health.
Creeps and you don't want to take too much damage.
Look at the distance.
That should be going on around
Fast.
30 food. You're going to want to drop down a vault. Then you're going to continue making riflemen non-stop and farms. And really the last part of this build order is making a keep at about 36 food, and then making getting the black gunpowder upgrade at 36 food.
So I think he's going for just a tier 1 upgrade.
And then once the keep finishes, you're basically going to make a blood mage and 2 arcane sanctums and
So he's talking about going a paladin into a blood mage.
continue pumping out spellcasters. And that's really the build, and you can take it from there and do what you want. In this match in particular, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how this build plays out as we go through it. You can see the scout tower just went down, the paladin just popped out. You've got 1 paladin, 1 rifleman. At this point, you don't really need to wait for that second rifleman, but the timing went out perfect. Went ahead and made the
with the 3 militia, like I said. So 8, 7, 6, 5. He's down to 5 on his farms. Plus he has 1 building a tower.
peasants into militia, going ahead to
Turtles.
attack this creep. Now, it's actually really advantageous to have these militia. It's a lot of extra damage, extra soaking power.
He actually took 4 militia.
Your paladin's already going to have full mana, so using a holy light right now isn't really that big of a deal. Militia are pretty squishy, so using a couple holy lights, that's expected. You should even be able to tackle like harder mobs. You might even be able to take out an orange creep camp. Caveat though, you really don't want to lose peasants or riflemen to creeps. In fact, you don't want to lose any unit to creeps ever.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty slow build, right? Because realistically on this map, it could either be right beside him, adjacent from him, or on an angle from him. It's one of the 4 spots. It all depends on the RNG. It's all RNG on this map.
So whenever you're creeping, make sure to use good micromanagement, focus fire, and pull back units that are low health.
So I understand why you went the paladin, right? Just for the heal factor as he's using militiamen because they are squishy. Understandable, I get it. But realistically, you can do the same thing with the archmage with his water element. Throw the water element, it's not so squishy, it could tank a lot. You could actually let it take those hits as your militia's attacking and your 2 rifles are attacking on top of your hero. And I feel like it would be better. Not only that, but the archmage has range. And then he could also do AoE damage with his blizzard attack.
And remember, don't
on top of, sorry, on top of, he ends up getting that magic regeneration aura with him too, right? So that you can actually pop 3 of those water elements. 4 if you're lucky. It's very rare to see that, but mostly you can like pop 3 of them janks.
Focus fire and pull back units that are low health. And remember, don't forget to use holy light. Don't lose units. So after you creep around a little bit, you don't have to use militia every single time. Really quickly, you can send them back to work by just hitting W, and they'll go right back to what they were doing before you said become a militiaman, bro. Come help me fight the good fight. So basically, we're seeing right now some more creeping going on. You get some items, you get some experience. It's really worth it to actually do these creep camps because if you actually look at the Paladin's XP bar, it's really filling up. It's super easy to get these green camps, and they actually reward quite a bit of XP. As you see there, the Paladin just hit level 2.
He hit level 2 after taking 2 creep camps.
Now this is actually...
So like realistically, if he took a green creep camp and then took an orange one, he would be like level 2.6, and then he could go hit another green one and he'd probably be level 3.
A pretty big deal. You did 2 creep camps and you're already level 2. You can pick up Devotion Aura. There's the Arcane Vault. Part of the build order, you want to start building that around 30 food.
And he hasn't even started upgrading his Town Hall.
Don't forget you got to keep making those farms because those riflemen cost 3.
He has 104 gold, 110 lumber. He's 33 out of 36 population.
Food, got to constantly be on top of that. 1 barracks is plenty to just get those riflemen pumping out. So once you get kind of like 4 or 5 riflemen.
So this is a better creep camp. Realistically, he could have probably took this creep camp second with 3 militiamen.
And go ahead and feel free to get like a yellow camp. These camp are orange, sorry. I can see colors, I swear. Getting an orange camp, it's going to really help with XP. You're going to get a little bit better items. Definitely worth doing before you rush or attack. You could even apply pressure, but it's actually better to creep probably on a 4-player map because you're...
I feel like it's better to creep encounter, because if you encounter them on your creep route, you can see what it is that they have, and if you guys get into a little bit of a tough and or scuffle there, and you see whether or not if they pull back, that's when you realize it's like, oh, they're not as confident as I feel right now. And if you also have units coming through as you're like doing that, and you know that you got like 1-2 extra units on the way, or let's say that you want to grab 2 to 3 of your peasants there and turn them into militia and send them up, just so that you have that little bit of an extra edge for attack power to push into their base to apply pressure, in my opinion.
It's actually better to creep.
It's not Turtle Rock. I forget the name of the map. Hold on. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I think I got it on here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, give me a second. Just let me check something. It's not that map. Where is it? Is it Hammerfall? It's not Concealed Hill. It's not Northern Isles. Oh man, what is it called? It's going to drive me crazy. Alright, well, it's not Turtle Rock, but it's kind of like Turtle Rock. That's the only way that I could actually describe it. It's not Turtle Rock, but it's almost like Turtle Rock.
Probably on a 4-player map because you're not really sure where the opponent is. And you're going to see this play out as this game goes, but 4-player maps are typically hard to rush on. You can't really rush on a 4-player map because you don't know exactly where your opponent is, and that's going to slow down your rush. As you can see, the hero portrait of the Paladin has turned into a Tome of Agility. So Bazan the Fearless is actually Bazan the Tome of Agility. Alright, he's back to normal now. Okay, so what just happened right there? So we bought a Clarity Potion. That's going to go ahead and give us mana back over time, and we also bought a Scroll of Healing. That's going to do an area of effect, regeneration, giving health back to all units. This is a good time to travel. You don't want to take damage while you have Clarity or regeneration on.
So like in Warcraft 3, you have to constantly be moving. You have to continuously be moving. The more that you sit in your base, the further back you fall behind.
Because that's going to stop the effect. So be really careful not to do this right before a fight, during a fight, anywhere near where your units can take damage.
And right after this, I'm going to pull up something and we can take a look and see if we can find the map real quick. So we will have the name of the map after we're finished watching this. We got like 3 minutes left.
So at this point, you've creeped a little bit. It wouldn't hurt to maybe grab level 3, maybe if they didn't do their green camp. We're going to go check that out right now. Hit level 3 before our fight. We'll have rank 2 Holy Light. Super strong. However, the opponent did creep, which is good. That means the opponent that we're playing is a little bit better. These green camps should be gobbled up pretty quick. And then checking the red camp, because that is also a start location.
So he wasted time. Because if he's over here and he went and he noticed that creep camp was already creeped, and there was no skeletons on the ground there, I wouldn't even bother walking over here. I would cut up to see whether or not if they went over to this creep camp, because that means that they were like just here. If bones are still on the ground, they were just here, they're close by, they're probably over there. I wouldn't go straight into where their base potentially could be. I'd go up here and try to meet them in the middle somewhere, and then see where they would run to, and chances are, boom, they'd run up over here, and that would be their base.
Where our
they could even be down over here. You know what I mean?
Spawned. So that wasn't the case. So we're gonna go ahead and check the other spawn location. And as we're going over there, we just finished studded leather armor. That's +1 armor upgrade for rifleman. We found the undead.
He already has 2 heroes. He's been creeping.
The Dreadlord. We're not seeing Vampiric Aura. Oh, there it is. Okay.
He shouldn't have went Dreadlord. He should have went Lich.
So he just chose Vampiric Aura. I was about to say maybe he went Sleep. Maybe he went Vampiric Bat Swarm. I forget the exact name. Looks like we weren't perfect on keeping up farm production. It's pretty hard. Pretty much you just got to keep pumping those farms like crazy. We got an engagement here. Looks like he's focusing firing the first rifleman. So what you really want to do here is pull back that one that's getting focused, or heal it, but it looks like neither of those happened. It's okay. There's a lot more riflemen than there are ghouls in this engagement. So the opponent really didn't have a lot of ghouls, which means he probably spent his resources either teching or upgrading something, or even...
He was straight up teching. Straight up teching. Trying to tech 2 destroyers.
Expanding. So it might not be a bad idea to check for Expo, but that was just done, so
it seemed like the undead was trying to tech 2 destroyers, and he ended up spending his extra gold on upgrading his towers.
Most likely tech, because we see the 2 heroes. So this opponent...
That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to tech just because you see 2 heroes that quick. You should already have 2 heroes ready to go about this time in the game, and it doesn't have anything to do with teching, because you guys have seen me play undead, and I'd have 2 heroes by now. I would already have fiends going, plus I'd have ghouls with me, and I would already be starting, because it would have hit tier 2. We would have started the slaughterhouse to start getting us what is it, friggin' statues. And then we would probably take a creep until we had enough gold right away for us to upgrade again. Because as soon as we're able to upgrade and our town center turns into tier 3, we would be able to get destroyers quick time.
It wasn't super amazing because it looks like he built some towers, and
it seems like a couple noobs playing, I ain't gonna lie. Because realistically, he's saying that he went rifles into casters, but there's no casters. He never even made it to casters.
Heroes are generally low level, not the best micro, not a lot of army units. He didn't really stand much of a chance. But nonetheless, this build is pretty effective, so to give him some credit, this is a pretty solid build.
I'm not giving that undead player any credit. Forget that. Hell no. Hell no. He fell behind. Or he was creeping, and then he wanted to take the creep really bad, and he lost a good majority of his units, and then human ended up coming taking him out. But it realistically seemed like that was an unexperienced undead player. Sure, you go DK, but he ended up going the other hero instead of Lich. He should have went Lich.
So at this point,
he went Dreadlord instead of Lich.
Keep is probably started back at
Dreadlord. Either you get Dreadlord right away and you go solo with Dreadlord so that you can quick ultimate with him, or you get him as a third hero just for his Vampiric Aura and Sleep.
This build is pretty effective, so to give him some credit, this is a pretty solid build. So at this point, Keep is probably started back at home. At the same time, you're going to want to get that, as Keep is going, you're going to want, when Keep finishes, I should say, you're going to want to get the long rifles upgrade. That's going to make it so your riflemen have increased range. You're also going to want to get a second hero.
Look, he had nothing. He had nothing. He had his ziggurats too far out. They should be tucked in the back for when you're coming through. This is going to attack, get an attack, get an attack. Another ziggurat should have been here. He doesn't have a shop or anything to get the Rod of Necromancy. Nothing. Nothing. That is, bro. How far along is it? This is 8.5 minutes in their game. Man.
That being the Blood Mage, like I said earlier on, and I was kind of just rambling about the build order. And then you're going to want the 2 caster buildings, Arcane Sanctums. You're going to want 2 Arcane Sanctums, and that's really the build. And it's really strong. Again, really important things to focus on early game is that 1, Holy Light can't be used on the Paladin, so try not to use him as a tank, but rather as a healer. He's tanky because he has a lot of armor, but you don't want him to take too much damage because you can't heal him with the Holy Light. Other than that, focus fire, pull back the units being focused, and enjoy this build. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Undead should slow way down, dang. Alright, so hold on. For that map, give me a second here. Give me a quick second here. Hold on, I gotta pull this off. You guys don't need to see what I'm dealing with over here. Here we go. Bam. Maps. Was in Amazonia. Let's go over here to videos. Streams, strategies, replays. So this will be the best bet for us to find what that map was. To like Turtle Rock, but it's not Turtle Rock. It's another tournament map that people use. Man, where the fuck is it? 101 human, any race. Was it Tide Hunters? It's not Tide Hunters. It's not Twisted Meadows. Is it Shallow Grave? It's not Shallow Grave. It's not Northern Isles. It's not this one. Tide Hunters. Is it Concealed Hill? No, it's not, because Concealed Hill looks like a spider. That's right. It's not Shallow Grave. It's not that. It's not Autumn. Is it Springtime? Nope. It's not Springtime. Okay, well, maps. We are looking for, again, it's a 2v2 map realistically. It's not there. What's the name of that map? It's going to drive me fucking nuts. We have to, like, I have to find it. I have to find it. We will find it. It's not it. It looks like Turtle Rock, but it's not Turtle Rock. Cost 2. It's not that one either. Nope. Nope. None of those. Is it Knollwood? I think it might be Knollwood. Let's take a look. Jesus. Yeah, it was Knollwood. I don't even think it was Knollwood, to be honest with you. Hold up. It's not Gardens. It's not Goldshire. Golems in the Mist. Nope. Kinda looks like it, but it's not it. Let's go over to 8. Imaginary Friends. Nope. Okay. We're going to look at one more after this to see if we can find it. If not, we're going to have to let it go. Lost Temple. Love it. It was on Grubby's tier list too. And that's what's bugging the hell out of me, because I know the name and it's driving me crazy because I remember seeing it on the tier list that we reacted to the other day. Man. And I think he gave it like a B or a C tier. Alright, anyway. You could go to warcraft3.info if you want to. Check out the website. This realistically is Warcraft 3 League. So, like, I'm over here a good majority of the time, too. I'm checking it out. I'm not logged in or anything at the moment. I'm usually logged in. I'm taking a look at everything. You got Season 4's League Europe. But anyway, we just finished watching a 4-year-old video for a human strategy, right? So that was 4 years ago. I still feel like it was really slow of humans. That was a very unexperienced undead player that he was going against in a 1v1. There was a plethora of mistakes that I feel were made, where a bunch of corrections could have been made. It says 100% win rate right here, but like, not if you're building that slow. Do you know what I mean? Alright, so like, let's take a look at Grubby's. This is a year ago. Okay? Let's see the difference.
Alright guys, you just saw the human...
This is what I'm talking about. Look at this artwork. Look at this artwork. Look at it. You can see where everything is. It's easier to place things. What is he doing? Everybody's on gold, takes one, throws it over to start building the altar right away. Like I said, right? Look like Nullwood close. Yeah, that's what I think, right? Like, it looked like Nullwood. Pretty sure it's Nullwood, but it might not be. I'm pretty sure it's Nullwood, though. But, like, as you can see, like I said, what Buddy should have did, as he had all his peasants there doing a bunch of work and building peasants and stuff, he didn't have an altar right away. That's the very first thing that you have to build, is your altar. Because the quicker you get your altar up, the quicker you get your hero out, the quicker you could start creeping.
Bloody beginner guide. Now we are faced with a human mirror the very next game after. What a surprise and coincidence. And we're also on Tide Hunters. Nice to play.
So what I think, after he pops, drop him here, build a farm. And then he's going to build a barracks. Or he's going to build a barracks and then build a farm. Because it's usually altar, barracks, farm, tower.
Our first real game after the Bloody Beginner Guide on the very same map. I'm going to be trying
so
to
he did go farm.
The build that you just saw
there you go.
In this human mirror game. So, first peasant to altar, 4 to gold. Next peasant builds the farm for 4 seconds, goes into the barracks. The next new peasant finishes the farm, and the next new peasant can either make the second farm, or you can go into the gold and make the second farm 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
It's kind of up to your preference. I do these like little things for bonus efficiency because I noticed, hey, I don't need farm that early, but you can do it however you like. Here's another small little efficient thing using the militia to walk faster, even though I was derping for the hotkey for the farm. So, human mirror matchup. I am going to... So there's a couple of ways you can do it.
Tide Hunters. Tide Hunters. It's Tide Hunters. Is it the same map?
In the beginner guide, I taught you to get this, then this, then this.
It's not.
But because it's orange, green, and then expansion, you can see, hey, that's not exactly good flow, because you're going to the right, then left, then to the expo. So you can also either do orange, then expansion, or you can start on the left side at the green cap. then you'll be walking in the correct direction all the time. All in all, you need to try and find out what works for you. It's not so much which route as understanding.
Archmage. Archmage. Need I say more? Like, Grubby's going Archmage off rip.
That changing up routes for different reasons can yield different results. It's understanding why you're doing a route and how fast you're expanding and how your economy will look like if you do it that way. In this particular game, I'm going to go for the green camp here. I'm using my second footman for scouting, which is a little bit of an added difficulty level. And then I put all these units in control group 1 and this footman is in control group 2. So we see that he's actually going for the Goblin Laboratory. Now we've got two choices. We can either go harass there, or we can still proceed with the plan to expand. And I'm actually going to take the item and then I'm going to harass. You don't want to lose the footman. Hey, I got the Watch Elemental, so now I'm level 2.
Nice.
Gonna try to do a little bit of harassment. We're gonna make our fourth farm.
Third farm. No, fourth because he has the one
kill
out.
some peasants. We're still expanding. And we want to keep our footies alive. We just want to kill a couple of peasants. Alright, now we're going to turn around. We're going to take that expansion.
Footies shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered, a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises.
Blood!
So the whole reason why Grubby has all those peons and stuff is because he's going for the expansion. And he's essentially going to be taking them and putting them all towards that expansion.
For more intense games and over-explains, don't forget to subscribe.
Nice one, Seri.
Upgrade.
Right! Keep making footies. We go for our expo, we killed a couple of peasants. He has more XP, he's got better items. We have a better lumber economy. We're gonna make a tower at home and then defend upgrade. Next what we'll need is level 3 Archmage. Not the best item, Ring of Protection. So now we're going to try to get level 3, but it's not easily.
Might be an older map, still cool and interesting. Yo, that's a fact, man. Big facts. Like, 2 weeks, I'm going to be getting the expansion, the ROC and shit. The ROC and TFT expansion for this. And then we're going to be getting right into some Warcraft 3, bro. Trust me.
We got them from a singular camp.
Yes, me lord. What? Job's done. Back over there. Okay, all day.
I can hardly.
Yeah, he's level 3 already. I have to run away here if he lets me, and he does. We're almost level up, but not quite.
Upgraded his tower.
I'm not sure that we can finish our expo. And I'm not sure if
Yeah,
he's
he might push
expanding
his
himself,
expo.
but because he doesn't know, ooh. Okay. Okay, now he
found
knows.
him.
Now he's going for it. Alright, let's go for the defense. Don't stop gathering. Don't stop power building just because he's attacking a peasant.
What is it? Oh, what is it? Yes, me lord. What?
We want to finish this base.
What is it? What is it? Yes, me lord. Oh, work. What?
Grabbed all his militiamen. Ready to go.
Try to get that XP.
Oh, work. Job ready to work.
Okay, we finished the base.
Nice.
We want that arcane tower again.
Job done.
Of course, we don't know if he has a base. We're gonna send the footman there.
What is it?
These peasants will remain on speed dial.
Ready to work.
Peasants in every base. Make sure to control group both of your town halls.
Yes, me lord. Oh, work.
Now we want to get to tier 2 as quickly as possible.
Get him. Oh, he went and
did not
got
have a second
Panda.
base.
Ready for action.
Trying to keep that tower up.
Forces are under attack.
As long as we get that tower.
Nice. Crazy militias,
We need
though.
that footy.
Yes, my lord. You need. Say the word. On my way. Right. Yes, my lord.
So much stuff is actually going on. So not only is he defending this, but he's looking out for pings on his mini-map so that he's actually to push the hotkey back over to whatever tower it is that he's using to like pump out like his barracks essentially.
Forces are under attack. What do you need? Yes, mighty.
Nice denies by him. We're
Nice.
gonna go tier 2. That's a bit late, but I mean, we were pressured. I forgive myself.
Ready for action. Say the word. Forces are under attack. Ready to win.
Crazy pressure.
Any level 3s?
Ready for action. You need. Orders. Right. Yes, mighty. Say the word.
Pop that health, bro. We got that level 3 too. Nice.
Yes, mighty. Yes,
Finally.
Lord. What is it? Well,
So he's got his sanctums coming. So now we need one guard tower
all right. What is it?
in each base.
Yes, my lord. What?
And now what we need to do is we need to buy time. So we're gonna go to his laboratory and get Zeppelin.
Nice.
Ready for action.
Zeppelin comes in key. Zeppelin comes in handy, especially if you're using like ground units. Super handy.
Send Water Ellie to check the shop.
Done. All work. All right.
Next you can expect breakers.
Job done. Job done.
And that's casters.
Well, our forces are under attack. Job done. I'm in the face of danger.
Nice.
Are you threatening me? Wrecking crew here. Say the word. Are you threatening me? Well,
Raid in his base.
you need.
Pop.
It's all about
20
eco wars
seconds.
now, right?
Cooldown.
Job done. Yes, my lord. Job done.
Straight up interrupted him for all of his stuff.
That's
Took
how
out
we
his
can
inside.
win the
Nice.
eco wars.
Where Grubby's like, forget the attrition, bro. Haha. Oh, that's
Tier
so
3,
slick. Tier
double
3.
barracks, workshop, and
Nice.
sanctum.
TP. Oh, nope, because he has the Zeppelin.
On my way. On my way. Forces are under attack. All work.
Did he forget to turn on defense? GG, nice. And then
Nice.
we're gonna check his expansion, and he does have it. We go for it. We're gonna go knights. We're gonna go breakers. We're gonna go mortars. GG, nice. Nice to win our first game after.
So, that's a night and day difference from 4 years ago to a year ago.
The guide showing the build. It's always exciting defending the base. There was totally not a game, also against the human, that was higher rated that we just lost on this very same map. This never happened. This was it. GG.
So that was crazy. Yeah, as you can see, the night and day difference from 4 years ago to a year ago. And then we can either watch this or we can play a game. One of the two. I will let you guys make up your mind whether or not you want to watch Happy vs. Fortitude that happened about 14 hours ago. I kind of want to see that. I'm not going to lie. But if we watch that, we might be able to squeeze in one game, to be honest, because I gotta go to bed at 10, right? So I'm gonna go get a drink of water. Let me know if you guys want to watch Happy vs. Fortitude, the best undead player in the world versus the best human player in the world. And this is for like the tournament and stuff that's going on, because there's constantly tournaments popping off. Or we could just head over to Warcraft 3, play a 4v4, and see if we've learned enough to pop off with it. So I will be right back. Give me 3 minutes, if that. Oh, we're gonna take Taskmaster's come over here and turn. Where is it? There we go. I'll be right back. We got the big old boo coming in too. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Come here. Whoa, fucking stop. Stop. Is you coming or not? Door's closing. Door's closing. You got Indiana Jones it? Indiana Jones! Yeah. We got the big old poos here. We got the big old boober. Big old boober. Huh? It's a good boy. You wanna lay down on the bed? Yeah. Didn't matter to me. Oh, it's real nice. Alright, well, like, yo, we're going to check out the Happy vs. Fortitude. Because from 4 years ago to a year ago with Grubby, that was actually pretty tight. That was sick. What really put him above his opponent there was getting the Zeppelin and being able to utilize the Zeppelin by picking up individual units as he was attacking, which gave him a little bit of upper hand. Not only that, with the way how he came through, dropped it all at the back of his base and pretty much wiped out all his peons, which completely fucked up his resources, right? So this happened 14 hours ago. I seen some highlights. I didn't see the whole thing. Happy, the best undead player in the world in Warcraft 3, and has been for a long time, because Happy's been playing since ROC days. You know what I mean? Versus Fortitude. And Fortitude, the same thing. He's been playing since ROC, more so TFT. He came a little bit after. Let's check this out.
Yo guys, what's up? We're watching the top 3.
Oh, it's another Grubby video. I didn't even know. Like, Grubby's the man. All shoutouts to Grubby, bro. Shoutouts to Grubby. Like, he's a goat for the community. You know what I mean?
Players against each other. We've got, well, it's not a 1v1v1 FFA, but it is the best human in the world right now, aka No Name, aka Romantic, aka Fortitude. We'll call him Fortitude as that's the name that has seemed to stick the most.
Go like this.
This is the best human in the world right now. He is from China, which is fitting because China has always had very strong representation of the human race in Warcraft 3.
And that's a fact. Ever since the World Cyber Games. So he has an altar, a barracks, and a farm popped right away.
Starting with Sky back in 2004.
Sky was sick.
By Infi and TH000, and more since then, including Yumiko. Of course. And Yumiko was very good as well, but it's Fortitude that has, as of recently, been the primary frontrunner of this faction. So, very, very cool to watch a series between him and Happy. They've been taking names and games. They've been taking games of each other. It's actually really evenly matched. I don't know the outcome of this series. They have been beating each other in series now and then.
Nice,
this is from a couple of days ago. It is a best of 5 that I believe goes the distance. So let's go check it out. Happy is going to be starting with a Lich first. That during most of Warcraft 3's history was not something that you would ever see outside
usually be
of
DH.
Undead versus Undead. You see, the idea about Lich first as a starting hero is that this mystical hero is particularly adept at cold magic. He can learn Frost Armor, Frost Nova, Dark Ritual, and Death and Decay. And it's especially the Frost Nova and Dark Ritual combination that is so potent when fighting small health units on the enemy team.
Because it does AoE damage, so if you're getting attacked by like 3 footies, you hit the middle one, the other 2 take damage. Sure, the middle one takes the most damage, but any one unit around them, let's say you have a unit in the middle, and then you have one northeast, southwest, northeast, south, southwest, literally a circle around one unit. If you hit that one unit in the middle, it hits all the units. Slows them. That one unit in the middle takes the most damage, but they all end up taking damage. And after you end up getting the frost over to level 3, pardon me, is essentially, in terms of Warcraft 3, it's a nuke.
Right? Large amounts of small health units is what Frost Nova does the best against, as it has a primary damage on the chosen target of your Frost Nova, with less damage on the secondary targets. So Frost Nova excels against ghouls, gargoyles, but also against footmen and militia.
Yep.
The reason we never saw it against human is because it was quite considered that Death Knight must be your opening hero, especially when running a one-base plan. The Unholy Aura did get nerfed a couple of years ago. It's not as fast as it used to be, but it's still very potent. And a high-level coil can help save your Lich as a second hero. But the biggest change of all is a series of balance improvements that was made to Undead being able to fast expand. Sacrificial Skull can now be purchased without a graveyard since a few years ago.
Which is pretty cool.
And that means that there's now a streamlined economy that allows you to place a ziggurat
and throwing down the land is key.
before the gold mine starts, as we see here. It's placing the ziggurat at the 3-minute mark. Otherwise, you would have to do gold mine first, which means a 1 minute later ziggurat starting. Not only that, but he wouldn't even be able to afford the gold mine if you went graveyard into ziggurat. And if you didn't go graveyard, then you wouldn't have sacrificial skull. So you'll just be standing there trying to defend the haunted gold mine. And the reason that didn't work is because human would fast expand, as Fortitude is. They would then walk over, and the gold mine, which right now is 30% in that eventuality, would be 60% by the time human arrives. They'll cancel it, and you've basically lost.
Yeah.
However, the early Nerubian tower allows undead to delay their gold mine, but be much more likely to either get it up, or if they don't get it up because the human kind of suicides on the gold mine, you'll be able to take your pound of flesh. You'll be able to get a bunch of kills against anything that the human throws at you. So you see that both players are respecting the potential for harass. Used to be people just put down a gold mine, sometimes people put down a town hall and then see whatever happens. That has changed. The Lich is being respected as much by Fortitude as the Archmage Rush by Happy. And in fact...
Which makes sense, because Archmage Rush is intense.
Happy is not expanding at all. You know why? I think he's not expanding, even though he has the option to do so, and he's actually gone for attack, because he sees Fortitude is playing a defensive, slow expansion style. It is very helpful when playing RTS games. Once you get to know a little bit more the general styles that people do, and you get to know a little bit more the general build orders that can happen, is to start grouping certain tendencies in categorical categories. So, for instance, the 3 main categories are safe, greed, and aggressive. Safe, defensive, greed, and aggressive. Those are the 3 categories of play that you can do. And so, what is an immediate town hall with no arcane tower? That's greed.
So technically, yes, they still have nukes, because with the Archmage, you could go the water element. So it's the order for the Archmage is usually water element, and then you end up getting that mana regen back into a water element, because your water element will be a level 2. It can tank a little bit more, does a little bit more damage. Then if you want to get Blizzard, you can get Blizzard. But if you're rushing, right, if you're straight rushing, so you put 2 to 3 of your peasants to build your altar, and like you have a farm building right away, they should pop around the same time. You get Archmage and like 3 to 5 militia, and you get Blizzard. You run over and literally rush as you start pumping out, because by the time you make it over to your opponent's base in a 1v1, your barracks will be built in order for you to start pumping out footies. But you already have your militia there, right? So since you have your militia there, you're going to go Blizzard, and then you end up using Blizzard against whoever's running on the gold mine, unless it's Night Elf, and then if it's Night Elf, you're going to be going for the Moonwells, right? But if it's like Undead, you're going to be going for the gold mine to try and get rid of the Acolytes to fuck the economy up. Same with Peons. Peons can usually end up going into an Orc burrow right away so that they're able to attack and be safe, and with a little bit of extra defense. And then once the militia is done, you can start building towers on your opponent's base as you have footies coming, as you have Blizzard, and then you're doing damage, more damage. You can start attacking the altar, you can start attacking their housing and stuff like that, right? It's a really powerful rush tactic to use if you're used to that kind of game style, right? So you could end up getting that to a level 2. It's technically like a nuke, because you could end up taking out the home base, right? For Lich though, for his Frost, he's level 3. It's a level 2 Frost that does a lot of damage. As soon as you get the Frost to level 3, it's technically the nuke, where you can start hitting the bigger players, the bigger enemies and stuff, and taking off more damage from them, as it's also critting, doing other damage around. Like realistically, he could use Frost right here. It's going to hit 1, 2, 3, and him. He'll take the most damage, but all of them will end up like half health.
How do you answer greed? with aggressive or also greed. So I think if he puts down the town hall immediately, Happy can choose to kill a lot of peasants because there's no arcane tower,
Yep.
or he can choose to expand by himself. But
It's
what
one
did
of the two.
Fortitude pick? Safe. He made it an arcane tower, waited next to it, did not even start his town hall. Then he made the town hall. It's much slower than it could be. And because he elected for safe, Happy chose for
To attack.
greed.
Yeah.
He did not choose attack, and he did not choose safe defense. He did not choose expansion greed. Instead, tech greed. It is a kind of greed, right? Like you're optimizing one part of your player. I call that greed, which is the fastest possible tech, so that you can start exploiting higher level technology units against the opponent. So he does lose a couple of goals. Nice job. Fortitude kills a couple of goals here and there. And I'm learning a lot from this as well, because I like playing human, and I've been facing Lich first, and I have very little experience with that, because for most of Warcraft's life it was always Death Knight first, and Lich has a lot more damage against the footmen and the peasants of this world. So this is tier 2 by Happy, and he's making a slaughterhouse and a Death Knight before going to tier 3.
Yeah.
So that's essentially safe, right? He's first getting to establish his healing, then going to tier 3. So he's no longer fast teching, it's a bit slower tech. And that's how human can be very, very powerful during this phase in the game. You get an expansion, and you apply pressure and force delay on the enemy tech. It's a pretty impressive combination of factors of gameplay to exploit. And Fortitude is also teching. He's got 0 towers at home, which is a big change from how it was back in 2005, where Infi style meant expand, make 6 to 8 towers in each base, and then go for mass siege tanks. Play has become a lot more evolved in the macro aspect. Masonry upgrade was actually nerfed, and several buffs to undead expansionism means that you can't really make that many towers anymore.
He ends up, check that out, that was pretty cool. Happy ends up tying him up around the trees with his little footies there, so he's able to pop off a little bit. Plus he got his Death Knight out so that he's able to send heals over to the Lich, and he could also attack the human units, as human units, if they had the Paladin, could do the same.
That expansionism means that you can't really make that many towers anymore. But this still felt crazy, having like no tower for so long, but it makes sense, right? You may not always be able to apply things to your own games, because let's say you're 1100 MMR, right? You lose most of your games, but you win about 30-40%. You probably need more towers there, because someone could just like randomly start swinging at your main base with 4 fiends, and you're like, what the heck is this? Happy doesn't do this. Like, is this even good? Well, no, it isn't. But it's good against
Nice.
you, so you need to be ready for it. So the same rules don't apply exactly. But as we see, while initially Fortitude is teching with just 1 tower in his expansion and 1 scout tower in his main, he has now progressed, or regressed, depending on if this is your favorite style or not. He has progressed into making loads of guard towers, because he's afraid that, and just as I said, things have changed. The world is changing. No, hold up, Galadriel. No, it's not. It's still the same.
Then with the statues, you got your mana and your health regen. As you're sending a ghoul back, you can send the ghoul back, and then you go back to your base, you grab one of the ghouls that is over there gathering lumber and send it, and he replaces that ghoul.
The world has not changed. There's still mass towers from Chinese humans. Alright, feels good, man. So, lots of guard towers. War never changes. Yes, it does. Oh no, I guess it doesn't. So he's coming in with foot.
And it's funny because he keeps checking up here to see whether or not if he's expanding.
But a workshop is being made. A couple of buildings in front of the town hall, right? Farms like this are kind of cute because they create these funnel areas that are harder to walk in. Like, it gets a lot harder for any army to squeeze past this gap, or if you try to find a gap here, well, there isn't. Blacksmith makes a full wall. Barracks doesn't, blacksmith does. Kind of this obscure knowledge thing. Yeah, that's a hard base to attack. So what are these footies doing? He's just right-clicking the Tomb of Relics. To me, this looks like Frost Nova bait. You just go here, you Nova, you kill them all. Right? That's a lot of XP. That's 5 footmen. Could I ever imagine throwing 3 ghouls at an undead base in such a cavalier manner? No, but that's the power of the expansion and the follow-up units. At worst, if he loses all the footmen, Lich was forced to go home. Undead misses his timing of destroyer morphing.
Yep.
And,
He already got his
your
3rd
workshops
hero
up.
too.
You get your siege tanks. Look, Fortitude is extremely aware of what's going to happen. It's a ghoul destroyer attack. 1 masonry upgrade right now. He targets it with ghouls and destroyers. He's going to get 1 tower. Needs to commit a little bit harder on that first tower. First flying machines are coming in. This is kind of sick. I think this defense is going to succeed by Fortitude. It's kind of wild. That's a lot of guard towers, a lot of peasants that are currently not working.
Yep. Slow
nice
down.
On the mountain.
Nice.
He died.
Mountain King's down.
Peasants are here. There's Frost Novas that could come out and kill more peasants. Meanwhile, more workshop flying machines are coming out.
Flying machines are crazy.
Yet. Gotta get some gunpowder, son. If you're gonna shoot him with the flying machine. Does have the flak cannon coming.
It's to get rid of the base
He
quick.
is of the opinion that gunpowder is not a worthwhile upgrade. It's 12% bonus damage for flyings against destroyers. And it's
And that 12% goes a long way with the gunpowder. I'm going to keep that in mind for human.
bonus damage for flyings against destroyers. And it's only 100 gold, 100 lumber. Feels like a steal to me. But outside of those flyings, he may not be using gunpowder upgrade much. The question is, how many destroyers are we expecting? Happy right now is staying at 50. He's on 6 acolytes, making an over Zigu, which is to say he's going from 50 under 50 to 50 under 60 in his population count. It's very possible he's not going to get gunpowder because he is looking only to streamline upgrades into plating, which helps knights and flyings, or maybe no upgrades at all. In his mind, he doesn't know how many destroyers there are going to be. He doesn't want to over-invest in a battle that becomes obsolete. Flying machines are faster than destroyer, but Aura helps a bit. 1 destroyer goes down, 2nd one is getting attacked. I don't see any way for Happy to win this, to be honest. If he does, he's a magician. A lot of militia here, a lot of footies. That Stormbolt on Lich was so pathetic, just to stop his damage for a small
He hit so many with that Frost Nova.
period of time. So many peasants getting murdered. Now they are replaceable. They do create skeletons, but he does not have a lack of peasants right now. Okay, that was a bit too much. Now you gotta stop. So he's got 3 lumber peasants that can go into the gold. I'm just saying he doesn't have a lumber issue because he has a shredder fortitude. Still, with the footman guarding the primary expansion location, you gotta wonder if this is gonna be enough. Knights are coming out. Any upgrades yet? No.
No
Flying
upgrades.
machines, no attack. Knights, no upgrades. He's finally getting flying machine bombs, which I think costs 50/100, and knight upgrades. So it pretty much seems in line with his expectations that however many flyings he made is more than enough. I actually disagree with him. I know he's like the best human in the world and stuff, but I think based on the numbers, if you're gonna make, how many does he have? 9 flyings? I think it's cheaper and better to make 8 flyings with 1 attack upgrade. But I could be wrong,
Ooh,
actually. Let me
one of the
see.
flyers
8
dropped.
flyings with 12.5% is the same as 9 flyings. But 9 flyings have more health. Maybe it's better. Maybe I agree. If you're gonna make up to 9 flyings, it's probably better not to get an upgrade, since Undead will stop making any destroyers once you win the battle.
Yeah.
They're doing little poke damage on statues now. An abomination comes in.
Oh, and
Fire
a
on the paladin.
bomb.
He's got potion of greater healing pot. He's gonna be able to save himself. Holy light on the Lich. Lich is getting attacked.
Oh.
Goes down. That's
Lich
gotta be
went
it,
down.
right? There's no way. Surround? The surround on the Dark Ranger.
Dark Ranger's going down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
And Happy
Has to
is
retreat.
remaking his Lich from the tower. Usually Happy has protection on the Lich.
Yeah.
Potion of invulnerability. Not so right now. He was fully stacked to the gills on damage and mobility. But the protection was on the Death Knight.
Because he's using
Knights
Death
against
Knight
ghouls.
to tank.
No animal war training, by the way, on Knights. As much as casual players tend to get too many upgrades, as we saw in the Grass League Heroes segment yesterday, I think higher level players tend to skip upgrades when they feel that they need more numbers first. But this might just be an omission. I'm just gonna say I think that he just forgot. He's missing 100 health per night, which is like a 100 gold upgrade.
Yeah.
Barracks is idle. Yeah, he's just forgetting. Sometimes people cut corners on purpose to get to some critical number faster. I don't think that's the case. Funnily enough, repairing acolytes draw aggro, as I showed in a recent YouTube short. Repairing workers draw aggro, which can be used to manipulate enemy creeps away from their own creeping in an early game trick, but also becomes a liability while trying to repair your statue while you're creeping.
That's
Rock
crazy.
Bottom very nearly killed the acolyte. And it's actually really neat to bring one acolyte, to bring extra healing, probably on auto repair
Yeah.
for your statues.
It would have to be auto repair, auto follow.
There it is.
Nice.
Animal war training. It finished.
Finished.
Now,
Let's go on Griffins, couple
branching
Griffins.
off into Griffins seems smart against abominations, but it's definitely not over. I'm actually very surprised at how even the population count has remained. Happy is at 55. Fortitude
Nice.
is at 56. How is this possible? He had expansion the whole game. The peasant killing has been very effective, huh?
It has been.
Could pull a lumber peasant from his expo. The abominations also have disease cloud, but their miasma doesn't linger enough to affect this far away. You gotta go full culling of Stratholm here. You gotta go full spreading grain of Andorhal here. Get those abominations ass in the human's face. Get that disease cloud attached. He's actually got multiple abominations. So maybe my abomination buff of +2 damage will be very
Lich is
aptly
5.
used by players such as Happy. As much as we never see more than one abomination, or so I thought, here it is. 4 A-bombs.
I think he ended up going 4 E-bombs just because he seen that he was going to go Knights. And that extra little ticks of damage as they're also getting attacked from the stink cloud. You know what I mean? It's worth it. You want down? Okay, come here. I don't have it set up for you. Come here. Alright. You want to chill? Hold on. There we go.
They have the power, the tankiness to stand toe-to-toe with Knights. Both sides with Roar Scroll, by the way.
Yeah.
A coil on a 1 HP Knight. That's certainly
Roar.
an interesting decision. Flying machines with Roar have killed one statue. Acolyte runs away for some reason. Griffins do good damage on abominations, but the Lich is punishing anyone that dares to stand still for a few seconds. I can't believe Happy's winning this. I did just kind of call it. I mean, 2 seconds ago, not 3 minutes ago. I did not believe. I do think he is winning this, and I think it's ridiculous. I don't get it. Does he have cannibalize? Is he getting cannibalized? Yes!
Yes, he is.
Enables abominations to use the cannibalize ability. Consumes a nearby corpse to restore health. This is actually so incredibly cost efficient. Wait, did you just cancel it? Or did it finish? Oh, it finished.
Finished.
Look at him. How much is that per second? That's like 20, 30 per second or something. It's crazy good. And No cooldown. You can do it as often as you like. But the water torrents are here. 44 to 52 piercing damage. You can have up to 3. Biggest counter to water torrents are destroyers. The destroyers are still somewhat prevented by the existence of flying machines.
Yeah,
And not
these
just
flying
the existence of
machines.
the current flying machines, but also the new ones.
Just like the attack rate of the flying machines with all other flying units, you know what I mean? With how fast they attack with their machine guns and stuff. You want face scratchies? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna put you down though, okay? Yeah. Don't be grumpy. Come on. But yeah, Disease Cloud is key, especially when he's going up against Knight, because the ticks of health that end up coming off due to the Disease Cloud on top of the tankiness of the bombs. And then he also has a couple ghouls with him. He has statues that are giving mana and health at the same time, as Human has a couple griffins. The flying machines are doing their thing. And the Knights are obviously tanky, they're doing hits. And they have been upgraded, not like to the tits, but I think that they're like tier 2 upgraded, maybe just tier 1, and defense is tier 2. He should actually take his flying machines, put them back. I'm not the pro, I'm just talking about what I'm seeing. He should be taking the flying machines, putting them back, have one of the peasants work on it to increase its health again, to bring back. And I feel like it'd be that hit and miss kind of thing, depending on the situation, right?
No Orb of Fire? Yeah.
No Orb of Fire.
Orb of Fire would be pretty good.
It would be.
It would actually
Increase the attack.
lower the healing of statues of Unholy Aura. It would even lower the healing of Cannibalize. And of Coil, of course, which is the main one. Griffin's doing really good damage. Nice target firing on the Abominations.
Coil.
Knights are slightly better upgraded than Abominations. The Flyings are somewhere in La La Land. Griffin getting staffed. How many staffs has he got? Three staffs of Sanctuary. This is such a good game, actually.
It is.
It's really hard to know who's going to win. What's he buying? Heal Scroll? Invul. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability.
Invulnerability Scroll. For his Archmage.
64 population, 49 population.
So, get your grub on, homie.
I'm not going to say it's state-of-the-art graphics.
But look
But
how
it holds
quick
up,
the health
man.
is going up. And there's no
It
cooldown.
holds up. This footman has been here all this time.
The whole
I think
game.
it actually beats the ghoul, no?
Yep,
With
by
1-1
one.
upgrades? If they had equal life and not standing on blight? There is frenzy though. Ghouls have a very nice death sound. I wish someone would do a tier list for unit death sounds. I only thought this guy did some for hero death sounds. We gotta know where Ghoul ranks. Maybe he'll do it.
Getting rid of a Knight.
Staff
Nice.
Knight gets punished, can't move.
Huge. Huge.
Ah. What did he get? Oh, that's a very good item. Ancient Django of
drum.
Endurance. Second best item he could find. Best being Unholy Aura. Then Endurance, I think. And then the Amulet of Medallion of Courage. The Amulet of the Medallion of Courage. +5 strength, +5 int.
And also Happy's starting to pump out destroyers now.
That would be pretty sick too.
Where are the flying machines?
Gargoyle.
Gargs.
Oh, he wants to recommit to destroyers, so he's actually adding gargoyles.
Nice.
Very resourceful player, this Happy. You
Yeah,
should try
Happy's
going pro.
crazy good.
2 attack upgrade for Griffins. 4 Griffins, 2 Flyings. He saw the guard. He's spamming flying machines again. Happy's now on the clock, but he's got 4 destroyers with mana. He can absolutely blow out these 2 towers in just 2 seconds. 1, 3, 5, 4,
7
4
seconds.
is right out. Oh my god. The
Happy
economy
came
advantage
back.
has disappeared. 62 against 67. He's got 5 population more than Fortitude. Oh my god. Terrifying. Now Fortitude sacrificed
Get rid of
everything
all
to
the
make sure
houses.
destroyers don't have mana anymore. It all comes down to this. Stormbolt on the Death Knight. Griffins targeting flying machines. Griffins are targeting gargoyles. They're not hitting what they should be hitting yet, which is abominations.
Yeah.
Now they're hitting abominations. That took a good bit.
Took a minute.
Meanwhile, flyings are beating the destroyers together with the water elemental. And I think he's going to be able to win this Fortitude. DK getting attacked has a lot of protection, but it's just a means to an end to force resources. Griffins are dominating the abominations.
Yeah.
I could not foresee this end. Lich has no protection.
Run, Lich, run.
Oh, double bash. 3 hits, 2 bash. Now that's a video I'd like to watch. Another bash. 35% chance. Bash.
Got rid of all his
51
houses, though.
population. But I don't think Happy has much left. And doesn't have much mana left on the Lich. Does he still have statues? No, he morphed everything. Oh, it's the big unsummoning. Oh, wow, he actually went in to steal the Sanctuary buff on the Griffin, but he paid for it with a Knight. And not just any Knight, it's a Death Knight. Those are the best. Comes back to life, as they do.
Never stop to enjoy watching you and Dupsy 3 feels wow, man.
Wow. Hey, Eric, nice to see you again, man. Be Gates. Dark Ranger trying to run away.
Holy.
Silence is
Ranger's
the mountain
done,
king, but
silence.
just gets hit by auto attacks. DK comes back from his long campaign in Northrend. Picked up a cool sword. He's gonna save the homeland with it.
And that was a good game.
But Tyrannus is like, nah, this is over. Fortitude wins game 1. Excellent game. Much closer than I thought it had a right to be. Happy was tenacious to stay in. 1-0 lead for Fortitude.
That is crazy. That was nuts. That was like, yeah, nah, man. That was nuts as fuck to see all that. How he utilized humans against undead, and how undead was utilizing his units against humans. And did you see the way how he went from footies, no rifles, no casters? He went to footies, into flying machines, into knights, into griffins, back into flying machines, and all that. And then Happy actually went into a bombs, had to get certain upgrades that you don't usually see him getting, like cannibalize. That was crazy. Oh. Alright, so I'm pretty much, that's going to do it for the stream for tonight. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate each and every single one of you. But like, yo, take a look from 4 years ago to a year ago to how humans are being played today. You know, there's such a major difference compared, like, in comparison. And like, I don't know, man, this one was just a joke. To be honest with you, it was just a joke, in my opinion. But yeah, no, man, I gotta call it here because I gotta go to bed. I got work in the morning. But we will be popping back tomorrow. We are going to be playing some Warcraft 3 tomorrow, 100%. A little bit later on. Also, if you are members, we got a video dropped So feel free to take a look at that. If you're not members, you're going to have to wait a day or two for it to be available to you. Just so you know, it's available to all members on all tiers, realistically. Yeah, no, man, that's crazy. We just learned a bunch of stuff about humans that I kind of knew, but I didn't really know, especially for the build order, for what goes with what, and how to counter certain things. Like, man, for destroyers, to counter destroyers, that was crazy. That was crazy. But flying machines could do that. It kind of looked like he wanted to go and upgrade the flying machines to go over and just bombard Happy's base. But then Happy ended up getting rid of everything to try and retain resources from it. I think you end up getting 75% of the resources back after you end up doing that, so that he'd be able to actually build units. His units were so far down, he didn't do the expansion, which I feel that might have cost him the match, is that expansion. Congratulations to Fortitude. That was crazy. I learned some stuff about humans, and yeah, I hope you guys learned some stuff about humans too. If you enjoyed the stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit me up on any one of my other social media platforms down in the description below. Like I said, if you wanted to become members, feel free. Don't feel obligated to. You do get access to videos a day in advance. On top of, there's like stickers, some other stuff, shout outs and all that. Shout out to Epic Legend Quest because he's a member. Huge shout out to that man Pajama, one of the goats. Shout out to all you motherfuckers that came through. I appreciate every single one of you. Tomorrow we are going to be putting humans to the test on a couple 4v4s before we move into 1v1s. I want to make sure that I get a build order down. Oh. And check out warcraft3.info/leagues, Warcraft 3 League. It's pretty dope. If you're into Warcraft 3, the way how I've been getting back into Warcraft 3, this is pretty dope. There's always tournaments going on. Something's always going on. I have these guys on Discord, so feel free to join the Discord. There's a server for these man pajamas up on there as well. But with that all being said, take care of yourself and each other. Stay hydrated and all that good stuff. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.